So today we're here with the Horsch Maestro. This configuration here is a 18 row machine, 1 meter spacing. There's different configurations available, can go to 24 row, 75 centimeter, even 36 row, 50 centimeter. So it's all sorts of different configuration available. On the front of the machine we have all the gauges which give us vacuum, pressure for the central delivery system, down pressure for the row units, etc. Behind the lid there we have a nice little toolbox to carry all your spare bits and pieces you might need, different discs and all that kind of stuff. At the very front you see the hookup to the tractor, different remotes we use. The machine is isobus controlled, comes with a monitor, but you can also run it through systems like a Green Star 3 system or anything else. Because it's fully isobus and fully electric controlled, we have section control available, so we can actually turn all the rows units on and off. The machine we're looking here got a single bin. It can hold about 8,500 liters of seed. There are different configurations available where we, for argument's sake, have the same bin, but then we have 2,000 liters of seed and about 7,000 liters of fertilizer. So this large bin allows us to do a lot of work very quickly. If we have a quick look at the bottom of the machine, we'll see there our center delivery system for the seed. So air gets pumped in the bottom of the tank and the small hoses will carry the seed towards the metering units. Most machines also come standard with extendable axles. We can get different track widths depending on your requirements. So we can go from 3.5 meters to 4 meters. This particular machine here runs on a 4 meter track width. If we have a closer look at the back of the machine, the heart of the machine, we got the center frame here, which actually acts as a vacuum tank. On each side we got a vacuum fan that supplies the vacuum to the metering units. The metering units are carried in a parallelogram configuration, so they follow the ground really well. We have a hydraulic cylinder that provides us down pressure. We can get up to, depending on the machine, we can get up to about 350 kilograms of down pressure. The Maestro uses a double disc opener with gauge wheels on the side, and we usually bring it in with V press wheels. Another nice thing we have is we have what we call a seat catcher wheel. So there's a wheel running directly behind the seat tube. So from the moment the seat comes out, hits the ground, and it will be literally run over by the wheel. So they will actually be pressed in the ground and it can't go anywhere. We got pressure adjustment on the closing wheels. We can change the height of our catcher wheels. We have a very simple pin adjustment to set the height of, or the depth of the planting unit. Very simply indicated with numbers from 1 to 12. 1 is shallow, 12 is as deep as it will go. If we open the lid here, we can have a look to the metering system. As you can see, it's a very small metering system. All units have electric drive. So as I mentioned before, because we have electric drive, we can do things like section control. No chains, no cables to drive it. So it's pretty much maintenance free when it comes to that. Very small metering unit. Here, the specific setup you see is for sorghum, small seeds like sorghum. Vacuum comes through this side here to that tube. This funny looking tube we got here is actually our seed delivery. So seed will be blown out of the tank into this tube towards the metering unit. When all these holes fill up with seed, that's when the airflow will stop, and that's also when the seed flow will stop. As you start planting and your seed pool drops, automatically the air holes come free again and more seed will be supplied. So that's what we call our seed on demand system. What else do I need to talk about? What else do I need to say, Uli? If we have a closer look at the center of the machine, we can see it's all built very well. Very thick steel is used. The two hydraulic cylinders there that you see holding the wings, they are also used to lift up the machine, and the machine completely falls up to 3 meters or 3.5 depending on the configuration for transport width. Let's have a closer look to the Horsch monitor for the Maestro. We have all different functions on the front page here. We can turn rows on and off individually. We can control our row pressure or our down pressure step by step. We can see our forward speed. We can see how much pressure is on the row units at the moment. If we turn the monitor on as such, we can get a complete detailed view of how the rows are performing, be it overall as an average or individual. We can select all that. We have functions like our fan speed and all that kind of things. Fan speed for the vacuum, fan speed for the seat delivery system. We have a function here that allows us, if we're going through a very wet patch in the paddock or a very rocky patch, we can actually lift the machine off the ground a bit and still drop some seat on the ground if you want to do that. We can easily access how much seat we want to put in the ground. At the moment here we look at 65,000 seats. You can set all that up. The machine will automatically calculate the row spacing. A very interesting feature is our test function. There's different tests you can do per row. There's a button here which allows you to turn each row on individually, and you can let the seat sensor actually monitor what is happening while you do that. If we press that button, the row unit will do one complete revolution, and it will actually tell you here how many seats the seat sensor has seen. So if we run a 50 hole plate, if we did that test on whatever row, if we see 50 appear there, we know everything's working perfect. If you only got 40 odd, you know you got misses. If you got more than 50, then you know you got doubles. So it's very easy to check each individual row unit, see it perform while you're working. If something's not right, you can come to this page, pick whatever row you think is not working well, and you can check it individually and see exactly what's happening. This test button here does the same thing, but it keeps the row unit working, and your seat sensor will give you or tell you exactly how many skips there are on that particular row or how many doubles there are. So it's perfectly possible to check everything basically using this monitor. So while you do that, you can make adjustments on your scraper, you can change the vacuum and have the machine working as good as possible. There's also a function here with a little hand. That function is basically a manual test function for our seat sensor. So if you think a seat sensor is not working well, just grab a known quantity of seats. Let's say you count out 20 seats, you drop them through the tube, and the monitor will tell you how many seats the sensor has actually picked up. So if you drop them through and it gives you nothing, well, you know there's something wrong. Alright, that was a quick overview.
Hi, my name's Steve Robertson with Muddy River Ag. Today we just want to go through a couple of the features and benefits on the Horsch Maestro planted row unit. So up the front here, what we've got is a floating set of trash whippers. So they actually float. The pin can be taken out and it can float up and down. It's a really good feature. You can pin it into a position if you want to, but that's a really good feature of the machine. Now if you can see up in here, the other good feature of this machine is this hydraulic downforce. This hydraulic ram here, through this parallelogram system, actually puts pressure down onto the row unit. So the bane of most planters is planter bounce. So what we can do, we can control planter bounce from the cab electronically over hydraulically by 10 kilo increments. So if you're hearing that, you can, that means those gauge wheels aren't getting good ground pressure, which means you're going to get planter bounce. So just adjust it 10 kilo increments and happy days, you should be good to go. The backbone on this thing, as you can see up here, is solid. So that's around 20, it's about 20 millimeters thick steel, so it's really well built, well designed. The pins and bushes are 50 Rockwell pins, 60 Rockwell pins with 50 Rockwell bushes, so very, very, very solid. The other thing with this machine, and this is the brains here, this is the electric motor, so there's no cables, chains, sprockets, shafts, any of that stuff. It's all electric drive. So it's very simple. Your cables come in from your brain up the front, and these are all connected in series across the machine. So what this, I'll just take this off here, that's the seating unit there. That will have a plate. We've got seating discs to go on there, but that's your actual metering unit. So that whatever disc you use, you just put that disc on there, put it back in, and then you go up into the cab. These are compatible with ISO tractors. These are just some of the discs. That there's a corn disc. As you can see, it's got the slots around it. There's a part number on there. I think that's a 24 slot one there. You got another set of discs here. This is a double row round for chickpeas, which is another great idea. 4mm, they're 4mm hole. These ones here are the small canola ones. I think this is a 1.2 millimeter hole for canola, which so the vacuum sucks on this side and the seed actually gets stuck on this side. Yeah, contrary to what you'd think it'd sit in the V there, but in the countersunk there, but it doesn't. It actually gets sucked on that side. So they're just some of the various plates that they've got. They've got them for soya beans, and there's about 17 or 18 different sorts of plates you can get. There's sorghum, and there's that's the corn one again, and there's the cotton ones. I think the cotton ones are actually in those other row units. So, but that's as simple as it is. And this system, that's actually called the linear release system. So this is what happens here is seed is turning around, and it's in here. So when it turns around, it's just getting released down onto your tube, and away it goes. Very, very, very simple, and that's why we can get the speed with these things. So that's what the disc looks like, and we'll show you from the other side. So what you then do is set your rate that you want. And you tell it, I've got a 30 hole disc in there, and you say you want 140,000 seeds per hectare of, say, cotton, for example. It will then do a test. You go into test mode, put a bucket under here, hit test. It'll tell you what your skips and doubles are. It'll tell you what your coefficient of variation is. If you're getting a couple of skips and doubles, or doubles in particular, there's a scraper just here. That's called your scraper, and you can move that from 1 to 9, and what that does, it moves off the doubles. So you can tell that from up in the cab, and you'll see your doubles come down. And once you're happy with it, leave that where it's at, and away you go. The other thing is there's a seed pool slide here, so you set your seed pool to your rate and your size of your seed. So it's very, very simple, and that system works very well. It's variable rate and section control, so if you're going across areas where you've already seeded, it'll automatically switch off. That's the beauty of electric drive, and it's all instantaneous. Seed counter down here, you can see we've actually been experimenting. That's a little bit of quinoa, which is a very small seed similar to canola. So today we've seeded quinoa, we've done some wheat trials, we've done sorghum, we've got obviously corn, soybeans, all of that. This thing will do it. It's a fantastic machine for various seeds. But the seed sensor is down there. That's once again the brains behind the thing. It's counting seeds like cotton, so it's counting the seeds, and it knows your speed. So if there's any variation in that, it sends a signal back to the brain into this electric control unit, and it changes your rate on the go. It's very simple and works a treat. Depth adjustment on your gauge wheels here. You've got double gauge wheels on a walking beam here. that's your depth gauge. So you just move that from 1 being the shallowest to 12 being the deepest, and very simple to do. This here is another really good feature. It's just in its it's not in its working position at the moment, but basically that just goes in there. It's a rubberized material. That's what's our seed firmer. So that's just our catch wheel, call it what you want, but it does a really good job of putting that seed right onto the moisture. And then you've got your double wheels here, just as your other press, which you can adjust simply by. It's similar to most other closing wheels on planters. This is just this chain's nothing to do with Horsch. It's just something we've put on there just to muck around with. There's a liquid seed tube there that we've done just to do a few trials, and that's worked very well. But yeah, as you can see, the other good thing about these units, these row units, is if you've got a vertical fold, you don't necessarily have to have a stack fold machine, because these things, the doors lift up, easy to get bags into. It's a 70-litre hopper, and so when you close it down, it just shuts up. Nice and easy. You can fold up, nothing will leak, can't come out, and it's simple as. The other good thing when we're doing the trials today, you'll notice here there's a trap door. These doors in here, when the disc's in, you can actually see seed being stuck or sucked by the vacuum onto your disc. So it's a peace of mind thing. You come in there, really simply put it in test mode, get it spinning over. Or actual fact, what you can do, if you can see this red button here, each of these motors has a red button, so you push that twice, that actually turns the unit over, so you can sit there and see seed coming out on the ground wherever, so you know your unit's working. Very simple to clean out. There's a trapdoor there for clean out, so you just do that, and there is a chute that comes with the machine, so chute goes up in there. It's a stainless steel chute that comes down, and you just put all your excess seed into a bucket, and it cleans out very well. But yeah, the machine's it's well built. It's got a lot of good features on the machine from a technology and electronics point of view, but the machine's, it's very rigid, it's very solid. You're not going to break it in a hurry. And the discs on there, those double discs, we just did a measurement there, around about 15-inch double disc on there. It's got good internal mud scrapers there, and good seed. There's a big piece of metal in there to protect the seed tube, so it's well designed. It's so we're very happy with the performance of these so far, and the results we've got out of these from testing has been terrific. Just precision seeding, seeds that you normally wouldn't do.